that the Zamfara State Governor Dauda Lawal has revealed that his administration will never consider negotiating with bandits. He stated that the Zamfara State government is not in any rush to strike a deal with the militants in order to restore peace to the state. The governor also debunked reports of kidnappings by bandits in the Maradun local government area of the state. Reports had emerged that gunmen kidnapped more than 50 women and children in a raid on Bandits-Lawal village, with the state police command allegedly stating that more operatives had been deployed to the state. However, during an interview, Lawal described the news as false and inaccurate. According to Lawal, the northwestern state has not recorded any kidnapping incidents in the last 6 months. Within the last 6 months, I don't think there has been any such incident reported in Zamfara State. Insecurity is still there, but we are making conscious efforts to handle it to the best of our ability, he said. The World Bank, in its latest food security report, highlighted Zamfara, Kaduna, Sokoto, Borno, Adamawa, and Yobe as the other 6 states that may battle the food crisis because of insecurity that has reduced the standard of living in the regions. I'm aware that both of you are, I should think in my head that both of you are aware of the issue of insecurity in the country, especially in the north. I am sure about that. Both of you are aware about it. Yeah. And then Zamfara is part of the country, the state, I'm sorry, that has been affected by these bandits, foreign bandits, that use sophisticated weapons, that they actually had to recruit newbies online. You know, so there has been a case of this insecurity case is politically orchestrated, you know, and all of that. And then most of the northern states that have been affected with Sokoto, Kaduna, Zamfara, that is the center of attention right here. But we have that Dauda Lawal has refused the claims that Zamfara State is affected by insecurity because of the fact that I don't know. Probably there are personal reasons why he said that. And then there's no need to negotiate with bandits because there has not been any case of insecurity. But there has been cases that Zamfara indigents, the citizens, have been running away from houses. Their cattle have been raided, their houses have been brought down, most of them have been kidnapped. And then this coming from a governor that is supposed to oversee the affairs of the state. What is your thoughts about this, please, Mr. Ayo?
I think the governor, giving him a benefit of the doubt, now as the governor is also the chief security officer of the state. Of course, when we say chief security officer of the state, some people will say in quotes, because the regular military apparatus does not take directives sometimes from the governor. They take directives from the top. That's the top hierarchy of the command. So there have been narratives like that, but to give him a benefit of the doubt is the chief security officer of the state, the #1 citizen of the state, and in fact the governor of the state. And his primary function is to make sure that the state is secure. He has given a time limit, he said, in the past 6 months. And actually, there might be reasons to believe him. You know, Zamfara State, that is the state of one of the very high militant leaders. That's Toji, the one they call Toji. So that is the state where he comes from. The narrative even had it that in the presence of state government officials of a past administration, that Toji was actually turbaned. And following that, there have been also the perspectives that government was actually backing up banditry in that area. Of course, following from that, we also know about the fact that Governor Lawal and some of his predecessors, there have been a brickbat, more or less, between him and his predecessors, accusing one another that they are behind it. Now, banditry is not just what it is. You have to look at other factors that are behind it. For instance, the mining of solid minerals and the play of some foreign nationals that are there doing business, of course, with politically exposed persons locally. So let's give him a benefit of the doubt, since he's saying that in the last 6 months.
Are you trying to give him benefit of the doubt that you agree with his stance? Or you giving him benefit of the doubt that he's speaking from his own point of view? Or the clean slate we have here, that Zamfara has actually been, or is part of the states that have been affected by bandits, is not the real state? I want to make it make sense.
Benefit of the doubt, in the sense that, as the chief security officer of the states, in quotes, that, and also a member of the State Security Council, that he has enough information to give to members of the public until, and not just him, you also have the different programs, military programs that are ongoing, to make sure that banditry is completely reduced to the barest minimum. So some of those things appear to be working. If you look at the National Security Advisor's brief, if you listen to it and you study it, you will also see that he has also alluded to the fact that the level of insecurity that we used to have in the past appears to have reduced. So for a number of reasons, especially the use of both non-kinetic and kinetic method. Kinetic in the sense that military use arms and so on, but then the non-kinetic, making sure that you are also trying to work with locals in the provision of intelligence.
Mr. Young, as it stands right here, the case of insecurity has actually been increased and not reduced. I don't know the last time you visited any of the northern states, and if you have actually been, that's why I asked from the beginning, if you are aware of the cases of insecurity, kidnapping, killing and whatnot. And then the case of an explosion that happened in Zamfara State last week. So it's been on the edge, and right here, it's also part of the reasons why there's been a case of food insecurity. I don't know the last time you actually had the opportunity to ask questions about food prices. And this northern states, they produce most of the staple foods we consume. And right here, we don't get them, we don't have access to them as much as we do, because they barely go to farms. Most of them barely go to farms because these bandits attack them in their farms, kidnap them, attack them, most time kill them, or make way with their cattle. And would have been cases of cattle header clashes and all of that. Okay, so I don't know why you have to say that the case of insecurity has been reduced as it stands.
Yeah, the insecurity, if you put it on scale, you're looking at some factors, key cases. If I use some case studies, prior to this time, we had a situation where people were traveling on rail from Abuja to Kaduna, and there were attacks on them.
Yes.
You are very much aware. We are also aware of situations where, in fact, students in schools, bandits had gone to schools and kidnapped those that are in schools. This is in addition to a lot of suicide bombings and so on. Some of these things we don't hear them again the way we used to hear them. So if you look at some of these narratives, yes, food insecurity, the fact that the cost of food is high could be attributed to a lot of factors, including the cost of price of petroleum. Because if these foodstuffs are there and the cost of bringing them is prohibitive itself, on the long run, the price difference will be passed on to consumers.
Okay.
But that does not, I also see your angle where you are saying that, okay, these are the food baskets of the nation, and that we are not seeing, it's not that we are seeing food, but where the problem is in terms of the cost of this food.
Okay.
And largely because of the cost of conveying such foodstuff to the point of consumers.
Thank you very much on that, Mr. Young. I want to get your thoughts about this story. What do you have to say about this, Alcoro?
Well, just like Mr. Young have said, you can give him the benefit of the doubt.
Okay.
Nobody will begin to argue with him.
Okay.
On his, he said he thinks. So I don't know whether he's working with statistics or what he perceives, what he thinks. He said, I think in the last 6 months. Okay, but that, let's leave it for him. But you know, I am part of the ordinary citizens of this country. There is this perception about people in leadership. The ordinary citizens no longer believe them and believe in them. Whatever thing they say, people take the opposite side of it. When they tell you that it is A, people say no, it is B. Because they are not seeing honesty in them and from them. So, if you ask a typical Zamfara citizen now, he may tell you that in Zamfara, there is insecurity. Kidnapping is ongoing on a daily basis. So, but you don't expect the governor to accept that in the public.
But why wouldn't you accept that? Because this is a state that you oversee.
On him.
Other states governor has actually accepted with the fact that yes, we have cases of insecurity in our states, and we seek for the help. We seek for the help of the federal government to intervene, send troops to our states. So why will the governor not accept it? Even said they will not negotiate with bandits in cases that your lives of your citizens are involved.
They will be doing that at the backstage, interfacing with the federal government to send troops and all those things. But they cannot come out publicly. They are demarcating their state. When they say so, they are only telling you, don't have anything to do with our state. There is kidnapping, there is insecurity, there is banditry, there is armed robbery, there is kill. So, no governor will come to do that, accept such facts publicly.
Okay.
Because you are only telling them that your state is, I don't know if I call it hellfire, whether it will suffice to describe it like that. You tell them that it's a den of, it's a dungeon. Don't even step into my state.
So he's trying to sugarcoat it.
Exactly.
In his
that
statements,
is
not
part of his functions and
okay.
This is, he can't come to expose the negative aspects.
But in the detriment of the lives and properties of the citizens.
It is left for the citizens to debunk. Maybe
or remain there.
Yes.
Well,
I think we need to give. I still believe that we need to give him some benefit of the doubt.
Okay.
Because when he says 6 months, he clearly said within the last 6 months, he has stayed in power for about 18. That is, he has stayed in power for about 18 months now.
Remember, he said he thinks.
Yeah.
He was not really now.
No, sure about it.
Of course, he has to think. Won't you think? he has to think. So his thinking could be informed by statistics available to him. His thinking could be informed by the briefs that he gets from security commanders that are within the theaters of some of these conflicts.
How about the people involved in this situation?
His thinking could also be the fact. You know, he came out and not just criticized, he came out, but very openly to say that the kidnap of about 50 indigents of a particular local government area, that it is false. And this is where investigative journalism comes to play. If they think otherwise, then they should also establish the facts. This is where the media actually comes in. So if he has made some claims, just as he has, he needs to be listened to, because he has information that is not at our disposal. I will address the issue of trust deficits.
But according to the World Bank, the World Bank mentioned Zamfara as one of the states that has been affected by the case of food insecurity because of the whole bandit situation. So how does that statistics get into place from the World Bank?
Of course, the World Bank, we also know the World Bank is not that everything that the World Bank says that we have to accept its hook, line and sinker.
Okay.
We also have our own perspectives and perceptions about the World Bank. But we know that they are also working with a lot of local groups to get their statistics.
Okay.
But again, we can't completely, just as Chidi is saying that Nigerians have a trust deficit towards their government. We have been relating with the World Bank as a country, and some of their ways and the statistics that they throw at us sometimes have become suspects.
Okay, thank you very much.